Welcome to Monsters University, the top scaring school in the world. As an incoming freshman, your first order of business is to get your student ID. So, look into the camera and say, hooray! Monsters University. It's hard to be small in a world of monsters, and first grader Mike Wazowski was the smallest. But on a field trip to Monsters Incorporated, Mike found a way to stand out. He would become a scarer.
Turn the page. Turn the page.
Years later, after studying and lots of hard work, Mike arrived at Monsters University. His dream was coming true. Mike was entering the best scaring program in the world.
Turn the page. Turn the page.
Mike got his orientation packet and ID. Then he saw the School of Scaring and checked out all the clubs. He even picked up a flyer for the annual Scare Games. Cool. During the first Scaring 101 class, the legendary Dean Hardscrabble laid down the rules. Scarers had to be scary. Anyone who did not pass the final exam would be dropped from the scaring program. Mike was nervous, but he was certain he could do it.
Fail that exam, and you are out of the scaring program.
After Hardscrabble left, the professor asked his students about the key components of an effective roar. Mike eagerly began to answer, until he was rudely interrupted by James P. Sullivan, the son of a famous scarer. Mike was annoyed that Sully overshadowed him.
There are actually 5. Those include the roar's resonance, the duration of the roar, and the...
Sully and Mike soon met again when Sully barged into Mike's room. Sully was chasing Archie the Scare Pig, the mascot of the rival school, Fear Tech. Mike got caught up in the chase when Archie took his hat. After a wild race around campus, Mike finally captured Archie in a trash can.
Got it! Got it!
Even though Mike did all the work, Sully got all the credit. Sully was asked to join the Roar Omega Roar, ROR, fraternity. And Mike, he was ignored. After a bitter argument over who could be scarier, Mike and Sully became fierce rivals.
You heard him. This is a party for scare students.
I am a scare student.
Mike studied even harder, while Sully goofed off, having fun with the roars. Mike aced all of his exams, but Sully's grades only got worse. If Sully didn't do better, he would be kicked out of Roar.
I am gonna wipe the floor with that little know-it-all.
Turn the page. Turn the page.
On the day of the final exam, Mike and Sully started warming up and quickly got on each other's nerves. Before they knew it, they were in a roaring face-off. Then Sully tripped, knocking Hardscrabble's record-breaking scream can off its pedestal. The dean proceeded to give Mike and Sully their final exams herself. She then decided neither would be continuing in the scaring program. Mike was stunned.
Mr. Wazowski, what you lack is something that cannot be taught. You're not scary.
It was an accident.
I'm so sorry.
Sully and Mike were furious with each other. But Mike soon remembered the flyer he had picked up on his first day at the university. The scare games could be the answer to all his problems. As Mike raced down the hall, Sully followed, still angry.
Coming through!
Mike proposed a deal to Dean Hardscrabble. If his team won, she would let all its members into the scaring program. The dean agreed, but Mike needed one more team member to qualify. Mike had no choice but to let Sully join.
If you win, I will let your entire team into the scare program. But if you lose, you will leave Monsters University.
I'm signing up.
The star player has just arrived.
Mike and Sully moved in with their other teammates at the Uzma Kappa OK fraternity house. The OKs included Don, Art, Terry and Terry, and Squishy. None of them was in the scaring program, and none of them looked scary.
As the president of Uzma Kappa, it is my honor to welcome you to your new home.
We call this room Party Central.
As the president of Uzma Kappa, it is my honor to welcome you to your new home.
The Toxicity Challenge was the first of 5 events in the scare games. Mike and Sully failed to work as a team as they raced and dodged stinging glow urchins. The OKs came in last place. But luckily for them, another team cheated and was eliminated. The OKs were back in the games. The next day, the OKs tried to show Mike their talents. Mike was not excited. He told his teammates that if they really wanted to win, then they would have to bury their natural talents deep down and do exactly what Mike told them to do.
So for this to work, I'm gonna need you to take every instinct you have and bury it deep, deep down.
Turn the page. Turn the page.
In the Avoid the Parent event, the teams had to get a flag in the library without making a sound. Mike had a plan, but Sully lost patience and got into trouble. The other OKs distracted the librarian while Squishy grabbed the flag.
Guys, what are you doing?
Mike could not believe it. The OKs had saved the day. Maybe there was more to these guys than Mike had thought. Afterwards, the triumphant OKs were invited to their first party. They had never felt this good or this popular.
I've never stayed up this late in my life!
Turn the page. Turn the page.
Suddenly, the Roars dumped paint, confetti, and stuffed animals on the OKs. The Roars told the OKs that they might be cute, but definitely not scary. They could train all they wanted, but they still would never be scary. The OKs were humiliated.
What? What?
Turn the page. Turn the page.
Mike had to do something to boost the OK's team spirit, so they sneaked into Monsters Incorporated to watch the scarers on a scare floor. Mike pointed out that all the scarers were different, just like them. Sully and Mike agreed they needed to start working together.
Take a good look, fellas. See what they all have in common?
With a renewed spirit and Mike as their coach, the OKs began to work out hard. They advanced through 2 more events, Don't Scare the Teen and Hide and Sneak. The OKs began to see themselves as winners.
Okay, scare the little kid.
Turn the page.
With only one event left in the scare games, Sully ran into Dean Hardscrabble. She told him that there was one monster who simply was not scary enough to be in the final competition. Sully knew she was talking about Mike.
He's the heart and soul of the team.
Tomorrow, each of you must prove that you are undeniably scary. And I know for a fact that one of you is not.
Turn the page.
Sully had to help Mike. He told Mike to stop thinking so hard about scaring. Sully even showed Mike how to practice his roar. Mike gained some confidence, but Sully was still worried.
Dig deep! Dig deep!
Yep, this time tomorrow, the whole school is finally going to see what Mike Wazowski can do.
You're darn right.
Turn the page. Turn the page.
In the final competition, the Roars faced off against the OKs. Each one of the OKs did his part by scaring the robot child in the simulated scare. It was Mike, though, who anchored the team and was the true hero. The OKs won the scare games.
We did it!
Turn the page. Turn the page.
All too soon, Mike realized there was something wrong. Sully had tampered with the robot kid to make it scream more easily. For Mike. The OKs had won because Sully had cheated. Mike was furious.
I don't think you should be messing with that.
You said you believed in me. But you're just like Hardscrabble. You're just like everyone else.
Turn the page.
Sully knew he had made a big mistake. He confessed his cheating to Dean Hardscrabble. Meanwhile, a determined Mike headed to the door lab. He would prove to everyone that he really was scary.
You did what?
My team had nothing to do with it. It was all me. I cheated.
Turn the page. Turn the page.
Mike entered a child's room and did his best scare. Nothing happened. The little girl was not the least bit frightened. Mike was devastated. To make matters worse, Mike realized he was in a cabin full of campers. As soon as Sully figured out what Mike had done, he felt terrible. He had to help. While his OK teammates distracted Dean Hardscrabble, the big blue monster nervously went through the taped door to find Mike.
Sullivan, don't go in there!
Turn the page. Turn the page.
Sully sneaked through the empty cabin at the camp. Where was Mike? Sully found him at the edge of a lake. Mike felt terrible, like a failure. Sully reassured him that he wasn't alone. Sometimes Sully felt like a failure too. The two monsters were finally friends.
How come you never told me that before?
Because we weren't friends before.
Turn the page.
It was time to get back home, but Hardscrabble had powered down the closet door. Mike came up with a plan. He needed Sully to do the scaring, and Sully needed Mike to be his coach. Together, they crept among the rafters and began scaring the Rangers.
They're adults. I can't do this.
Yes, you can. Stop being a Sullivan and start being you.
Turn the page.
Just when all the Rangers seemed on the edge of terror, Mike told Sully to roar. The Rangers screamed. They produced a record amount of scream energy, activating the closet door.
Turn the page. Turn the page.
Within seconds, Mike and Sully exploded back into the monster's world. The two buddies had accomplished something never done before. They had powered up a closet door from the human world. Mike and Sully were kicked out of Monsters University. But there was some good news. The rest of the OKs were now in the scaring program. When it was time to leave, Mike and Sully hugged their team warmly.
You're the scariest bunch of monsters I have ever met. Don't let anyone tell you different.
Turn the page. Turn the page.
Mike headed off, not knowing what his future held. Suddenly, Sully stopped Mike's bus. He told Mike he was a great monster. Maybe not scary, but definitely talented. Mike was a great coach.
Mike, you're not scary. Not even a little. But you are fearless.
I'm okay just being okay.
The last one. The last one.
Mike and Sully left together and soon got a job in the mailroom at Monsters Incorporated. They worked hard and they loved it. And when they finally made it to a scare floor, they went as a team. The first and best scare team ever.
You coming, Coach?
You better believe it.
What's the
The end.
what's the
The end.
D
End.
D
End.
D N
End.
D